fine-tuning. It's completely reasonable, 100% rational. So, ICAB, you can confirm you loaded in the game with me?
Yep.
Thanks, Legio. You're a sensible person. Good. I'm quite excited. I actually have the stinger today. Stormless has given me the stinger, so here we go.
Stinger.
Hello, and we are live in the semi-final, the first semi-final of Operation Bagration, the fourth qualification tournament for GCS2, and the final saloon for these guys to prove themselves and qualify for this huge, prestigious tournament. In the south, we've got Refero playing as the Soviets, and I'm with ICAB. Who do we see in the north, ICAB?
HelpingHans on the north with his Ostrup first, locked in straight away from minute 0. No T1 strat. Beautiful off meta coming in from HelpingHans.
Oh, this is off meta when it comes to normal players, but Hans is not a normal player. He loves Ostrupin, this guy. He popularized them, in fact, in days gone by, many years ago, when they first hit. He was like the first top player to really use them and make them useful. So pretty exciting stuff, Ika.
I've noticed that with Hans, he uses, one could say outdated strats, but he makes them look so good. So I trust Hans to put on a good show with Ostrup, and maybe he's planned this a lot better than me.
Maybe. ICAB's no slouch, by the way. ICAB is the first recipient of the Coco Jambo Award in GCS2. Tell everybody how you received that reward, ICAB.
So I was having a game against Hans, and I had Hans in his base at 5 minutes, so I thought, I need a forward headquarters to reinforce my troops and stuff, so I put it maybe 10 meters away from his base. Maybe not that close, but yeah.
Otherwise known as the darkest day in HelpingHans history. He found himself down on his luck, ICAB. He was struggling, and he was up against a relative newcomer, and he lost that very game that day. He's come a long way in having a resurgence in confidence, and some might say that's due to quite heavily his basically not playing the game.
Indeed. Half the game is just morale and trying to keep your head in the game. It's nice to see him back though. The last hope of Britain, battling it out against Refero, the hope of the Danes.
Indeed, it feels like one of those football tournaments we don't qualify. I mean, so many of the Brits aren't even present. Sodolio, Isilda just didn't show up. They fell out of love with 1v1 at the exact wrong time. Let's talk a little bit about the overall strategy for Ostrupen in this one. Hans' Ostrupen build is usually 3 Ostrupen themselves. You can always count on them. They're going to get the MG42 mixed in amongst them. And then it'll be a rush to tier 2 to get the beautiful delights of baby Panzer Grenadiers, possibly a 251 half-track with a flamethrower. And it's a pretty nice composition he'll get for himself, ICAB.
Indeed. He's going to go through a little bit of pain here because he can't use Panzer Faust. But this M3 is falling very low.
It really is, just by the brute force. It is indeed suffering a little bit here. Pioneers MP40s are very good at short range, and then the Car 98s of the Ostrupen somehow got the kill there. Not a great start for Refero.
Indeed. Automatic weapons, they hit every shot on light vehicles, so the damage they do seems incredibly disproportionate to the damage they do to infantry.
Feels main gun destroyed, man.
Enemy forces are securing
Indeed.
our territory. Our men are now
They are. They're doing all right because, of course, the penal battalions assaulted them head on, and of course, when you're doing that, your opponent's always firing, and penal battalions could lose this battle, especially now the MG42 is repositioned. Good positioning by Hans. Meanwhile, Hans is having a little poke around down south. ICAB, he's looking for holes to exploit.
Indeed. Set up now middle. No real way from Refero to deal with this mid-building.
Hans has got fuel. He's got it locked in. Refero has not done likewise thanks to his slower tier 1 start.
It's interesting, this T2 is out already. We should be seeing a Flamer half-track in maybe the next minute.
Yeah, absolutely. It's the Helping Hands way. Ostrupen, he tries to overwhelm you with them. It's a famous guide on Kotu.org, Overwhelming Ostrupen. And it is a Hans patented build order, and it certainly worked for him yesterday. Did you manage to catch the Hans games yesterday, Icon?
Yes, I did. I watched both of them. He won as Brits, and then the second game, I don't think he did Ostrup, and I think he did OKW. But yeah, it's nice to see him go back to Wehrmacht. This flamethrower doing excellent work against the Ostrupen. Ostrupen have no damage outside of cover, and the flamethrowers do just that. Refero opting to go double flamethrower just to force him out of cover.
It's a good idea. Hopefully for him there's no telemines or S-mines to sweep later on in the game, because it could delay him heavily. So the 251's already at 60% on that Flammenwerfer projector.
Yeah, this is excellent timing. This strategy executed perfectly in the opening minutes for Hans.
Second MG42 out as well, so Refero is going to be struggling to get through. And let's talk a little bit about Refero's commander choice.
Yeah, Refero has been favoring tank hunters. He did it against me. He did it against I forget the name of who he was playing against, but he did it all day yesterday, and he seems to really value the commander. He makes it look really good too. Not having to upgrade penals with PTRS allows them to keep a lot of damage.
Oh my god, talking about penals. This one's getting penalized. 251 shortly with the kill. No, yeah, there he goes. He runs backwards on himself and is in a ball of flame. We've got a Stravniki barbecue on Crossroads right now.
That's disastrous, but the first conscript does come out, and Refero is equalizing the map, trying to split the attention of the Flamer half-track as much as possible.
Yeah, Flamer half-track, speaking of which, already has Veteran C1, and 4 kills already. Here we go, we've got first PTRS upgrade on the conscript, ensuring that Helping Hands... Indeed, ensuring that Hans is knowledgeable, of course, of the tank hunters.
I mean, this is one of the best ways to counter it. Ostrupen, just like conscripts with PTRs has become incredibly worthless versus infantry, so Ostrupen that would normally fall off are suddenly irrelevant all game against conscripts.
This could be a second wipe in as many minutes.
Oh no.
Oh, there you go!
Oh no.
Fighting fire with fire as that flamethrower gets taken down by a much bigger flamethrower. Helping Hands is in a decisive lead right now.
Yeah, well put, fighting fire with fire. This is the... I have to commend Hans on how much of an advantage he secured for himself, but it should be noted, Ostrupen always do this against Soviets. So, Refero's still in this, I think.
He is, but how many losses has he had now? It's 1 penal battalion, which is 300 manpower. And then, of course, it's the 190 manpower of the scout corps, so we're up to 490. And then you've got, of course, the 170. So that's like nearly 700 manpower, basically, has gone in full wipes there. That's a lot to recover from, Icon.
Indeed. It's, Crossroads is pretty good for this, though. On most maps, if you sustain losses like this, you're going to lose your muni, and you're going to be at a huge disadvantage, not going to have access to PTRSs. On this map, you have secure munitions, so even losing this much, you can still build PTRSs eventually. You can still execute tank hunters. Refero definitely still in this. All he has to do is get these PTRSs up.
Do you know what's going to be really important as well? I mean, the tank heavy battalion command's coming down now. He does, well, as soon as he gets to 260 manpower, he'll be building that T70, so we should see it just over 10 minutes, I presume. The Pack 40 is out in anticipation, which means that I think the next phase of battle, that T70 versus Pack 40 with 3 Panzerfaust platforms, ICAB, which way that goes could spell doom for Refero, or conversely could get him back in the game.
It should be noted, Refero's T70 micro is incredibly impressive. I myself found it very difficult to deal with. I don't think it's an exaggeration to say he is perhaps the best T70 player at GCS. Maybe Von Ivan gives him a little bit of competition there, but in this qualifier, I mean.
Always, I think Von Ivan's best at microing more than one tank at a time. I think that's his speciality. If you take the Company Heroes 2-player trading cards.
Look at these card scripts hiding, about to be revealed.
There you go. Hans is putting the pressure down. It should be noticed, by the way, he's not overextended once. He's not tried to go for the cutoff. He's happy consolidating his territories and, you know, building up his army composition.
Indeed. It should be noted, though, that's led to Refero getting a lot of fuel, despite the heavy losses in the opening minutes of the game.
People are wondering why I pan my camera down. It's to capture a little bit more of the battlefield at the same time so you can see what's happening in the background. I am unfortunately stuck within the confines of traditional casting. I can't do my hack mod for strategic zoomcast. Maybe.
Hans is going. You see this safe teller? It's in a very standard position.
Where is it?
Right in the middle above the VP.
Oh, okay. I see it. Yep.
Refero, he's very good at anticipating these mines, and he's very good at sweeping first before sending the T-70. But a little bit of insurance for Hans.
It is a little bit of an insurance policy he's taken out there, but we'll have to see if it'll work. I mean, it's one of the most common mine spots in the game, and you would hope that this Minesweeper squad that has replaced the Flamer squad will sweep it. And in fact, he might get vision of it right now. Let's go over to Fog of War camp for Refero. He hasn't quite got within range, but I'm sure he will soon.
Penal about to go down south.
Oh!
T-70 coming in.
Good call, Icab. I always like when my co-caster says the direction that the thing is happening in. It's very helpful, thank you.
More manpower losses. Come on, Refero, you can do it.
I hear that although you are a Helping Hands fan, you are actually rooting for Refero today. Is there anything that about this player that, you know, makes you think that you want to see him do well, you want to see him prosper?
It's more that I'm trying to stay unbiased, but Refero's kind of like, he's just so mannered. I mean, every time I've played him, I've been impressed by his humility and his sportsmanship. He's gracious in his losses and his wins, and he's a very good player. He's been practicing probably harder than anybody else for this qualifier.
Really?
And so, yeah, every day, man, his auto match grind game is, he's been going at it.
That's really impressive to hear. He's definitely, I think, the most improved player this year. He's like the emerging talent that is actually challenging the top level scene and wasn't doing so, you know, this time last year.
Indeed. By his own admission as well, he said the same thing. He's playing a half track. So much manpower damage.
He takes everything in a good way, personally. He said to me on Steam last night, "AE, you said you would take notice of me when I got to a semi-final. Well, here I am." And I was thinking, I can't remember saying that. But he certainly does. And, yeah, he certainly is. Oh, Pack 40's pushing up. He's trying to find an angle on this T-70.
Double pack out for Hans now. I find this is a mistake against T-70. It's just 700 manpower being locked away on a unit that'll never really be able to kill the T-70 by itself. Unless Refero messes up in a big way.
I don't see Refero getting into position to be Fausted. You've seen a lot of tellers? Is there more than one now?
Yeah, there's one on the left-hand side as well, but Refero is very good at just dodging these mines, man. I don't think I got a single connect against him. These are more just insurance for Hans, just to make sure that he won't be sending the T-70 there.
Hans is finally striking. He's got his composition. He's comfortable. He's pushing Ostrupen forward with two MG42s watching over. Meanwhile, there's an Ostrupen in the central reservation with a Pioneer just scouting for anything that could stop this push in. And Hans is looking strong, Icap.
Indeed he is. He's countered the penal strat exceptionally well. He opened with Ostrupen, which are kind of just filler units. What you really want against penals and T1 is MGs, because T1 doesn't really have any counters to MGs. I guess you get snipers, but then you're playing sniper against Ostrupen. Oh, it's not the best thing ever. So it's a wonderful counter out by Hans. I like it.
It's classic Helping Hands. He's got this prepared position play in a line with overarching, supporting weapon. lines of sight. It's traditional Helping Hands play. He's been playing this way for as long as I've been watching, about 7 years. But he's a master of it now.
Yeah, it's getting so deep, but it's accomplished a beautiful flank on the back.
It has. It's gone balls deep there, and it's managed to somehow... Has it? Yes, it has decrewed the back. Here comes the second one, though. T70 needs to get out of there. It has been Fausted, of course. It's got this log pile. It needs to get behind it. Second pack is within range just about now, but he's got behind the log pile. This MG's nowhere near veteran C1. Should be fine. We've seen a squad loss, ICAB. What was it?
He lost his third penal, the one that replaced the other penal.
Oh, what a
Oh,
Faust! Transitioning time and space, and that log pile, and taking out the T70. So it was a ballsy move by Refero, but it did not pay off.
Refero tries to find whatever he can by going top. A common move. You lose one side, you try and apply pressure to the other. The AT gun barrage hitting the building.
He really hates that building. It's a
Rest
moral
in peace.
victory. Moral victory. He told me before this game, I don't care if I win or lose, I just want to destroy that shed. So, you know, GG.
He really hates log piles.
He does now. They didn't come to his defense.
Still doable for Refero though, I have to say. He is getting pretty low on the VPs. Han's doing an excellent job of just completely shutting him off the map.
If anybody's wondering what happens with Hans today, he's pretty much in the fan vote for GCS2 to be the 8th qualifier, but if he gets second place, he's got or first place in special, he's got a very good job of qualifying automatically. And second T70 pushing in. This could be good. He could take advantage of this situation, but there is a 3-man pack that could also do the same.
No support for it though. I think he's just going to charge it down. This is a pretty disastrous engagement for Hans.
Oh, it is. Look at that shot. That was huge.
Yeah.
Oh, the second pack's there, though. Now he's using the haystack as cover. He's trying to get out of there. Penal's pushing in. Here comes the Panzer IV, though. What happened to the T70? Was that a Hail Mary shot? Oh my god, the distance it traversed. That was huge.
Dude, that went max range. That was an insane pull by Hans. He tries to blow, Refero tries to blow up the AT gun or the satchel, but doesn't actually kill it.
That was huge, man. What a shot by Hans, and if he wasn't in the lead before, he's in a supreme position now as we see the third T70 building. We do have a Zis gun out, so he has got some contingency planning in place, but it's not looking too healthy.
Indeed. He did manage to cap up left though. I have to give it to Refero. He's been getting pummeled in every engagement, but he's still finding presence on the map. He's still managing to get some trickle of VPs and stop, delay the game for that almighty Soviet late game. But it's looking tough, man.
It really is. Good news is he swept this very aggressive Talamine. And as you say, it is all about trying to get to that Soviet late game. Despite Relic infographics released in 2015, Soviets are actually the late game faction of choice in 1v1 especially. They're excellent at VP control and using all of their composition. They have low pop cap and they're able to field a larger army size in general.
Should be noted though, Tank Hunters is a very early game doctrine. You don't get the IS-2 or Sturmovik or these late game tools that make Soviets so good. But if you can just get to T-34s or an Su-85. He's slowly reclaiming his ground though.
Look at this from Hans. He's just preparing for Refero. He's going to try and coil up and strike once more. Refero is heavily on the defense right now as the Ostrupen begin to overwhelm him. But it's not just the Ostrupen, it's the 3 MGs, the 2 packs, the Pioneers scouting. And then he's of course got the newly built Panzer IV that's keeping the western side, and that MVP unit, the 251.
Indeed. Just so much free manpower drain from the Flamer half track. It could have been disastrous if it didn't do so much, but when a unit gets like 3 squad kills in its first 3 minutes of action, you can expect a pretty big impact.
More Talamines laid. He's got to be careful about this one. That's in a perfect position for the T-70 to think it's being clever and then meets an untimely demise.
Indeed. Ham's going full regalia with the Telemines, as you said. He doesn't need to upgrade LMGs, So a faction that is normally very, very munitions heavy is suddenly
Oh, there's a mine here. Needs to watch out. Refero does plant this mine. Oh, he's starting to destroy the base at MG. This is... And he's destroying a bit of the wall, perhaps.
Hans just applying pressure wherever he can find it. Excellent move by him.
It's
I love
psychological
the-
as well. It really is, isn't it?
Absolutely. This is very, very... Yeah, that's just a beautiful way of putting it. Beautiful.
Ooh, nice shot by the Zisso. Out in the open. Oh, sorry, bad camera. The conscript's got line of sight. One more shot required. Will it be an attack ground shot to end all attack ground shots? He's got the P-tab coming in. Oh my god, ICAV, this could be a way back into the game.
Oh no. And the flavor half track comes on the AT gun.
Does it? That's it is a PG-friendly stream, ICAV. Okay.
He's dropping his hot sticky load of napalm.
Okay. Indeed. That's a very, very good save, actually. You kept it technically PG because everyone knows napalm sticks to children. That's the famous Vietnam phrase, unfortunately. T-70's up and in there. The third T-70. Is this the T-70 to end all T-70s? The one that's finally, like, the one that's learnt from the past mistakes.
You just need to keep building the T-70. I mean, it's just such an insanely efficient unit. It's just so sporadic. Engagements happening everywhere on the right, and the sniper out now to try and counter the MGs.
That's a ballsy move by Refero to go for the sniper at such a late stage and such a small victory point count. He really needs to play out of his skin. We've got the incendiary rounds of the MG42 doing a lot of work. Pack 40 has been decrewed, however. Hans does not need to get arrogant now because Refero is a great player and he will find himself in this one if he's not careful.
Yeah, he just lost a lot helping hands, but he does have a brum bar. This is interesting.
The Professor of Destruction is on the battlefield, and it's going to be a seminar of high explosive action as the Sturmpanzer makes its way into the battle to finish off Jarl Refero.
Done a basic choice against penals, I have to say, and conscript PTRSs. The added armor means that the PTRSs never penetrate. Yeah, also very good at killing stolen AT guns, it seems.
And obliterating penals, I think Refero's just playing to play, and now he has indeed thrown in the towel and is 1-0 to Helping Hands.
Great shot. It's cool.
And we're back in the room, and ICAP, that was a riveting first game. A little bit short, but I think Refero is still well in this series if he can make a good start in game 2.
Indeed. I have to say, great showing by Hans. He pulls this antiquated strategy out of the bag and just completely pummels Refero with it. Just great play, great execution, and yeah.
And here we go. We're 1-0 up. Helping Hands making his possible way into the final. He's got a route carved. He just needs to keep walking down that path. It is a best of 3, General G. Only the final today will be best of 5. And we're having a great day. If you can't see behind me, we've got a huge-ass trophy that will be for the winner of GCS. I've not touched it since the first time I placed it down, and the overall idea with this tournament is there's only one